Hey guys, so today I'm going to be showing you my current face of the day, and basically all of these products are products that I talked about in my current favorites video. Basically just going to be showing you how I use them and just kind of like my go-to products and what I've been doing. So if you'd like to see my current face of the day, this look that I'm wearing, then go ahead and keep watching. The thing that I do when I get out of the shower is apply a really good moisturizer. My skin's been super dry lately, so I've been using the Alba Jasmine and Vitamin E Moisture Cream. I've used this on and off for years, and it's one of my favorites for when my skin is really dry. You just need like a tiny bit, and I just put that all over my face, and then I kind of let that soak in. I apply my Blistex 5-star lip protection, and this has an SPF of 30 in it, but it's really moisturizing. It doesn't feel really heavy on my lips. I kind of just let that soak in. And then I apply a SPF of 50. This is from Neutrogena. It's a liquid moisturizer, so it's really lightweight and it just kind of soaks right into my skin. And then I let that all just kind of soak in for a little while I'm getting dressed, and now I'm going to go ahead and apply my foundation. My foundation that I've been using lately is the Estee Lauder Double Wear, and this is in the color 2W2 Rattan, I believe. So I just take this and get some on my finger, apply it to my face. I haven't been really using a primer lately just because I feel like I've been using a bunch of different moisturizers and it's just a little bit too much for my skin. Actually, get a little bit more. And once I get it on my skin, I take my blending brush, and this is from Sedona Lace. This is just a foundation brush. I buff it into my skin. And I've been using this brush set from Sedona Lace. It's the Vortex makeup brush collection, but tons of great brushes. There are like 13 brushes, and I've only been using these just to see how I like them and see how they compare to like my MAC brushes, and so far I really like them. So I get that all blended in. And now for concealer. I've been using my MAC Pro Longwear concealer. This is like one of my favorites. And I have so many different colors here. But I'm going to be using NC20, and I use this as an eye base too, so basically I just put a little bit on my ring finger. I kind of just blend it in, and I put this on my eyelids, and then I just bring it down underneath and then down my nose, in the middle of my forehead. It's lighter than my foundation, so it's great for just highlighting that under eye area, and then just highlighting anywhere else that you need to. And you don't really need to set this with a powder. You kind of just let it dry, and it has like a nice skin finish. It's not too matte. It's almost like a satin finish. So I just tap that in, and then just take my blending or my foundation brush and just kind of blend it in with the rest of my makeup. And then I'll just take my spoolie brush and just comb out my eyebrows, make sure that I don't get any, well, sometimes I get like my foundation or my concealer in my eyebrows, so I just like to make sure that it's not built up a bunch right there. So I just comb through my eyebrows, and I'm gonna actually just go ahead and fill my eyebrows in while I'm here. And I did have to get a different brow pomade because I had medium brown, but it was just too dark. I could barely even use a tiny bit, and it would just be too much. So I did pick up the color taupe. I returned that, exchanged it for taupe, and this one I think is perfect. I'm just using the Sedona Lace angled brush that comes with that kit. And I just like to scrape it off on the side. And then I use a smaller mirror so I can see a little bit better. And I just take this along the top of my eyebrow. Get the tail. And I love this brush. It's really stiff and it's a very thin line. So I feel like it mimics your hair a little bit better than like a thicker brush, and it just makes a more precise line. Just looks a little bit more natural to me. Make sure it's all kind of blended in there. And then if I need to fix any mistakes, I can just kind of rub it off. Okay, now for eyeshadow. And I'm using this shade called Bisque. It's like a cream shade, but it has a little bit of pink to it, and I'm using the Sedona Lace. It looks like just like a big fluffy brush. I'm just applying this to the crease as my transition shade, and this is just going to help all the other shades blend together a little bit better. So I'm just taking that in my crease and applying it also to my eyelid, blending it up. And I also take this underneath just a little bit. Okay, I'm also going to be using the Chocolate Bar palette today, and these are really the shades that I've been using a ton lately, and I'm using this pink shade in the palette, and I'm just taking this all over my eyelid just below the crease. And just making sure it's blended out really well, blend it up into the crease. Okay, and now I'm taking this flat brush. It's the white brush that comes in the kit, and I'm taking this shade right here, which is like a burgundy shade, and I'm just taking this along my lash line, keeping it on the outer corner. And just kind of bringing it up just in the outer corner up to the crease. And then I'm taking a little bit of this brown. It's like a red brown. And I'm just going to put that right over that. Just in the outer corner. I'm just kind of placing it on there. I'm not really blending it out too much. And then I'm just going to take this sort of like a pointed crease brush, and I'm just going to use this to blend it into the crease. I love this brush for really getting into the crease and then also underneath the lower lash line. It's like perfect for that because it fits right under your lower lash line. It kind of gets it without being too thick. It just kind of, if you barely just tap your brush into the eyeshadow and just kind of lightly drag it, it's perfect for that, and it really like smokes your eyeshadow out. Okay, so I'm just working on blending, focusing mainly on the outer corner. And then Just kind of bringing it up a little bit, bringing whatever is left over on my brush kind of more towards the inner corner, and just basically working on blending it out so there's not any harsh lines. Okay, now I'm gonna take a shimmery shade, and I've been using, let me find it. So I've just been using rice paper and nylon. I feel like if I use a pink, like a pink highlight, it's too pink for me, so this kind of balances it out. So I'm just taking a little bit of each and just putting a little bit right there, and then working it over onto the lid, just kind of keeping it on the inner part of the eyelid. And it just adds, you know, just a little bit of a highlight, a little bit of a shimmer, not too much. Rice paper is the perfect shade to just brighten things up for me. So for eyeliner, I either use like a gel eyeliner or this liquid eyeliner from MAC, depending on how much time I have. If I don't have a lot of time, I'll use this, but if I do have time, I just use a gel liner, and this is the L'Oreal Infallible Lacquer Liner. And the brush that I've been using is this liner brush that comes in that kit, and it's a bent liner brush, but I really like this because it feels really, it's bigger. I feel like you have more control, and I just dip my brush in. And then I always like to use a smaller mirror for getting up really close. So you just kind of hold the brush and it basically does the work for you. So you don't have to lift your arm in a crazy position. You just hold it and the liner brush just gets your top lash line. It's really, it makes it a ton easier. So I'm just lining that top line. And I'm gonna wing it out just a little bit like I always do. And then to make my liner, my wing just a little bit more precise, I've been using the Rapid Black Pen Ultimate Eyeliner from MAC, and it just has a really fine felt tip, and I just go over my wing with that, and it just makes it so much more defined and just more precise. I also go over any other liner, like if I have like where if I messed up, I kind of just take this brush over it, and it's so fine that it just fixes the mistakes. Okay, while that's kind of drying, before I curl my lashes, I'm just going to go ahead and apply my bronzer and contour. And I've been using the Tarte Park Avenue Princess. This is the matte bronzer, and I love this brush. This is very comparable to the MAC 109 brush, but the 109 is so scratchy, and this one is just not. I feel like this one might be a little bit better than that one. It's a little bit longer too, I feel like, but I just feel like it's just easier to work with. It doesn't rub like all of my foundation off when I'm applying my bronzer. And I feel like this one just blends it out a little bit better. Not that that's not a great brush, and I'm sure it has its uses, but for contour, this one I feel works a little bit better for me. It's just a lot softer, I guess. And getting under my nose, along the sides of my nose. As you can see, that kind of really defined it. And then I also like to take a little bit right on the top of my nose. I feel like it shortens it up a little bit, like kind of makes it look a little bit smaller. And then just getting my jawline. and right under my lip. Okay, now for blush, I'm going to be using, let's see, I have been using this one a lot, Love Cloud. Might be a little too pink for this look, but I'm going to go ahead and use it. And I just take this, this is like a large angled brush. And I just kind of put this on my cheeks, up towards the back of my cheekbones. Just blending it out. And then I just like to wipe my brush off, and I've been using the Ben Nye banana powder, and I don't use this just for under my eyes. I don't really feel like there's a huge difference. I think maybe my skin's not dark enough, but I just take my brush and just use it as like an all over face powder, and I feel like it works really great for that. So it does have like a little bit of a highlighting effect, but I feel like it just works better for me if I apply it kind of all over instead of just, you know, under my eyes. And then just blend everything in. Okay. Now for mascara. You guys have all seen me do this before, so I'm just going to go ahead and curl my eyelashes and apply mascara, and I'll be right back. I use the L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black, and now I'm taking this Rimmel pencil. It's the nude pencil, and I'm just lining my waterline just on the bottom. And these last few extra steps really make a big difference. They're probably not necessary, but I just like doing that. So I apply that, and then I always go back in with this little tiny brush and I apply a little bit more highlighter, and I'm just going to be using Nylon, this shade right here. So I'm just taking a tiny bit of that and just popping it right into that inner corner. As you can see, it just brightens it up a little bit more. And then last, I'm taking that pointed blending brush again, and I'm just going to be using a little bit more of that brown, that reddish brown right there. And I'm just putting a little bit more underneath my lower lash line. Just blending it out. As you can see, it does make a little bit of a difference. It kind of just deepens everything up. And I like that really kind of smoky look. Even if it's like a light smoky look, I think it's really pretty. And then if I'm feeling like I want to do a little bit extra, I'll take like a highlighting pen and just kind of clean that area up, which this is another step that you don't really have to do. And this is the NUME concealer. I think it's Maybelline. I'm not sure. It's Nude Chair, but I just kind of take a little bit underneath and kind of clean it up. And I'll just take my finger and kind of blend it in. Okay, now for lipstick. This is Please Me from MAC. It's a matte lipstick. And I love pink lipstick. I just cannot get away from it. This is a really pretty shade. And I'm taking 15C from Makeup Forever. And these two are almost the exact same shade. And to add a little bit of brightness to the center of my lips, I'm just taking 901B from Wet n Wild. It's just like a shade lighter. So this is the final look. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye!